Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and we're here with the Silver League, part of the Elite Classic tournament that is still going on. So we've had like the big grand finals of the Elite Classic with the main tournament, right? But we still got the Silver League going on, and we're going to be covering a little bit of that today because we've got Mattiz here spawning in on the right-hand side of the map, playing as the Rus. Going to be opening up here with a nice hunting cabin with only the one villager, not deciding to go for any of the newer Rus-style builds where we see 4 villagers out here and then a sheep gets dropped off over here, and then we see 2 scouts usually out of the hunting cabin. But not going to be the case for Mattiz today, going for a bit more of a classical build order. But his opponent spawning in on the left-hand side of the map in the color green. We've got Eliona, who's going to be playing as the brand new Delhi. That I think is absolutely crazy at the moment. I've been playing a lot of this matchup. I've actually played like 4 games with this exact matchup already this season. I think this is my most played matchup this season. I've played about like, what, 10 games? I would say about half of them have been this matchup, which is kind of wild. But people really have been enjoying the Rus with the Delhi with the brand new Ghazi Raider, because it is a pretty crazy unit, especially in matchups that involve heavy units, because that's sort of the new feature about the Ghazi Raider, is that it does bonus damage versus heavy units. So, you know, it does bonus damage versus knights, lancers, keshiks, men-at-arms. You know, it's a crazy unit. So we'll have to see if that's the way Eliona looks to play it today, because we're on the map The Pit, a great map for him. Easily able to wall up some of these sacred sites. That's usually why this is such a Delhi favored map. But also it is a Rus favored map, but not so much since the update. Because look at this, the hunting cabin, only 25 gold a minute. It's not a huge amount. It used to be much more. You know, this used to be in the 30 mark. So a little bit of a nerf then when it comes to the Rus, when it comes to their gold system with the hunting cabins and high trade house. But apart from that, not really too much of a nerf. You know, it's very minuscule, but it's still something to think about. But sorry, Mattiz? Hello? Did you misclick? Did you Mattiz? I think you may have misclicked. What is this? The Golden Gate in Season 5? Hello? Interesting. Maybe the Golden Gate is actually not half bad, because the Kremlin has actually been nerfed. You now no longer get the ticket upon aging up. So is that going to be enough to now convince players to go back over to the Golden Gate? Maybe. Like, the Golden Gate is still a great landmark, by the way. It's not that it's bad. It's more the fact that the Kremlin was so good. But maybe Mattiz is onto something here, because, you know, that first ticket in the Kremlin was something that made the Kremlin so damn good. Because you could instantly call it. You could rush up your landmark, instantly call those 2 militia, run them across the map, and you'd find so much idle time. And idle time at this point in the game, when you have like 16, 17, 18 sort of villagers, that idle time is absolutely huge. So maybe Mattiz is actually onto something here with the Golden Gate. We'll have to keep an eye out, see what he's looking to do, as he is out here on the stone. So he doesn't have a lot of bounty in at the moment, as he is researching wheelbarrows. So sometimes, well, what we used to see a lot was that gold would be saved up, right? And we would see the gold being spent to buy stone. So you wouldn't have to mine stone for a second TC. But it looks like Mattiz is still having to mine a little bit of it here. Maybe he can look to try and buy, maybe sell some wood, buy a stone, or maybe even sell some food. We'll have to wait and see, as he does currently have only the 4 villagers on the food. So we'll have to wait and see what he looks to do here with the Golden Gate. But it looks like for the time being, he's moving out into the gold as well. So maybe looking to get a knight or 2 in. Eliona, on the other hand, did age up here with the Tower of Victory. Tower of Victory. Something that we've been still seeing a lot of. I mean, yeah, the Dome of the Faith is a nice landmark and all, but I think this is definitely the better landmark to go with. maybe it's fallen off a little bit since the Ghazi Raider sort of changed, because, you know, this landmark doesn't affect any cavalry. So maybe you could think of it as a tower victory nerf, but it's kind of an iffy one there. But for the time being, Eliona just going to be looking to drop down a barracks, going to be dropping down a blacksmith as well. Maybe we see the double blacksmith, and I'd love to see some cavalry, honestly. I think in this matchup, having the Ghazi Raiders is going to be really, really nice for him, because it stops any sort of knights from Matiz coming out on the field. It doesn't stop them, but it certainly hinders them because of that new bonus damage that these units do. But that TC going to be coming down here for Matiz, over on the right-hand side of the base on this deer patch. Honestly, a really nice spot. I think it would have been nicer if the deer patch spawned this side, because then you could have bought, you know, you could have pulled the boar, you'd have more food behind the base, and also you secure up the gold, right? Because you ideally you want to position your base around this side where the gold is, rather than this side where the trade site is. I mean, sure, you get the stone, but yeah, you'd rather gold, right? But still, Matiz gonna be feeling pretty happy about this positioning. Still has plenty of food over here. You can see he's got berries, he's got himself deer. Has he grabbed himself? No, he hasn't. Have a look at this. No survival techniques in from him. So maybe he's looking just to save up the gold for the time being. Maybe he wants to just grab a couple more upgrades. It doesn't seem like he actually has any gold in the bank. Archer range is going to be coming down for him, as well as a wooden fortress. The consequence of not going up the Kremlin does mean you have to drop this down for that buff. But Matiz having no survival techniques definitely hurts a little bit. That's a must-have upgrade for any sort of deer or boar you go onto. This is a must-have upgrade. Plus 15% is absolutely huge. And look how cheap it is. It's 100 resources. It's really not a lot for how much value you get out of it as well. Because later on in the game as well, you know, you go up with the high trade house. Well, at least I think we will be, because that's kind of the standard these days. Maybe we see a little bit of a differentiation from Matiz here. I mean, look, he's built the Golden Gate. I wouldn't be surprised to see an Abbey of the Trinity. But usually we see the high trade house, so that's why this upgrade sort of just, it helps out the whole game, because you're always going to be looking for the boar, you're going to be looking for deer, and then later on in the game when you got the high trade house, this upgrade is always going to be useful. So a little bit surprising there from Matiz not grabbing this upgrade. It's an upgrade we're used to seeing grabbed 99% of the time. But Matiz prioritizing some units, it seems. He's going to be grabbing himself a little knight, some archers, looking to try and deny away some of these sacred sites from Eliona. As we see, he's already going to be capturing up 2 of these sacred sites. Wall's going to be coming down as well. And have a look at what we've got on the way. Where is it? There it is. Ghazi Raiders, they're on the way. And we see one's already out here. This is what's so great about this unit, because they're still good up against archers. Look at the damage they're able to do. They're with 3 hit archers. It is absolutely bonkers how good this unit is. And it's able to deal with pretty much everything the Rus has here. You know, they can deal with the archers. They can deal with the knights. And I mean, if Matiz did even go up with the Kremlin... Well, if he did... Actually, maybe Matiz should have gone up with the Kremlin, because then you'd have the little gremlins to deal with these Ghazi Raiders. But unfortunately, you know, Matiz at the moment, he needs spears, and that is what he's slowly moving into. But, you know, it's going to take a while to mass these up, because I've been fighting a lot of spears versus Ghazi Raiders. These guys absolutely destroy spears somehow. I don't know how. I feel like this unit is absolutely busted. I haven't really spoken to too many pros about it. In fact, I haven't spoken to any pro about what they think about this unit, but from what it looks like, it seems to be pretty damn good based on how often people are looking to just make this unit. It's more than it would be a horseman. And these actually cost way more. So well, I say way more. It's really not that much more. It's an extra 10 wood, an extra 10 food, an extra 10 wood. Which, I mean, you know, it's still a little bit more, sure. But for the amount of value you get from it, I think it's totally worth it. We see now, Matiz still adding in more knights. He's up to 2. Still no survival techniques. No sort of blacksmith upgrades, despite having a blacksmith down. He's probably going to be looking to grab the +1 ranged attack, or possibly Iron Undermesh. May be the way from him first. But Eliona You know, he's feeling happy right now to just wall up, get through the age up. We'll pick up the sacred sites first, actually. So pick up these 2 sacred sites. And then behind this, I think he'll just look to age. I think he's more than happy to age. Like, sure, Matiz has a bit of a villager lead right now. But behind this, you know, you're grabbing all of your blacksmith upgrades. You're grabbing a really nice mass of Ghazi raiders. Behind this, I think he can look to just age up. Or he can do something that we've been seeing a little bit more this season. Just going all in age 2. And I think that might be the case. We see double blacksmith is down for Eliona. Something that does usually indicate a little bit more feudal pressure. And I think this is really possible here with this unit. Because it's something that the French can do because of the knight. The knight is just such a good unit up against age 3 units. Like the men-at-arm. Like any sort of knights coming out from the opponent. And I think that's something the Delhi are able to do now with this brand new unit. Because these guys absolutely destroy heavily armored units. So we'll have to see what Eliona's plan is here. But it does look like it will be the age up. Which makes sense, right? You don't have to commit to the age 2 play if you've got 2 sacred sites like this. 2 sacred sites is going to be really, really nice for you, providing you a lot of income. So I have to see what Eliona now looks to go with. Does he look to go up with the Compound of the Defender or the House of Learning? I would think the Compound of the Defender, just because the... I don't know, actually. Maybe you do go with the Nah, I think you go with the Compound of the Defender. Just because you want to try gain that villager lead, right? You want to try catch up with Matiz's economy. And you can do that with keeps. And keeps on this map really, really strong up against these walls, guarding the sacred sites, guarding the gold in the mid-map positioning here. So I think we'll probably be seeing that. But in saying that, look at this. Eliona spending a load of resources now, getting out some more Ghazi raiders. Interesting. He's moved away from the age up. He's just spent everything. Look at this. He's just massing up archers, mashing up... mashing? Hope he's not mashing them up. But he's massing up everything here. So it looks like he's just doubling down. He's also grabbing himself professional scouts behind this. Might just be the case of, you know, you're the Delhi, so you queue up every upgrade in the mill. Definitely could be the case here. But it's something that you could always think about, you know, just bringing in a couple there from Matiz's side of the map. You know, pick up these 3. I think that's probably about it. But Matiz denies away that first sacred site. But Matiz, have a look at the army value difference right now. Eliona, he's up by around 1,000. And he's about to have 3 more blacksmith upgrades. So he's going to be ahead when it comes to that. He's going to have some scholars out on the field as well. And he's got this brand new unit which counters everything Matiz has right here. Matiz only has 9 spears out on the field. Eliona, he's got 24 archers. With correct micro here, Eliona could probably stomp this if Matiz overcommits here. Let me see. Eliona just happy to take this fight here. Matiz trying to make his way through that little wall. Eliona needs to cancel this wall, otherwise it will get burnt down. But it looks like Matiz not identifying that one. And there it is. Compound of the Defender coming through for Eliona behind this. So he's looking to try and rush up a keep possibly on the front line here. I feel like that's probably a decent-ish play. He probably has enough army to just stand here and guard this, to be honest. We see Matiz. He's got off a little wall here guarding this sacred site. But Eliona still on 2 sacred sites. More than happy with 2 sacred sites here. He's got, you know, a decent economy. Matiz, yes, he's ahead when it comes to the villagers. But Eliona, he should be able to catch up with this, right? He's on 2 sacred sites. He's going to have the Compound of the Defender through. He's going to have some keeps up on these positions very, very shortly. And he should be able to start to reclaim that villager difference with the village fortresses coming through. We'll have to wait and see what he does, though. I assume... I think you just stick with Ghazi Raiders, right? I don't think you look to tech into Lancers. I might be wrong, but I think you just grab the upgrades on these guys. You know, with the Delhi, they are a little bit slow when it comes to upgrading stuff. So maybe we do see Lancers out of him. Yeah, we do actually see their Lancers and Men-at-Arms. But if this was any other civilization, I think we just see upgrades coming through for these units. Just because they're so damn good. But it definitely makes sense that you want to be trying to get as much tempo as fast as you can. With just making castle age units, right? Crossbow, Men-at-Arm, Lancers immediately in the queue. And it looks like Matt is going to be aging up behind this with the high trade house. We talked about it earlier. Survival technique so important when you go up with this landmark. We'll have to see how much gold it looks to generate a minute. Matt is. Have a look at that. Denying away the sacred site with an archer that doesn't even stand on the sacred site. I would zoom into this. But the devs, you know, they don't want me zooming in. They don't want us looking at their fancy new graphics that have supposedly come in this patch. So, yeah, no zooming in. For those wondering why that is, it's a little bug. And, you know, you may be thinking, well, you guys had a public update preview, right? Why didn't it get reported back then? Well, we did. We did report it back then. And nothing changed. So, you know, who knows what's the point in a public update preview, really, when we got stuff like this that just doesn't get fixed. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, back to the game now. Eliona looking to now push forward. Look at those upgrades in the queue. That is a huge amount of upgrades. And it looks like he's going to be taking this fight here. Mattis reaches that castle age. Eliona knows that he's got a timing here to put some good damage onto Mattis. He needs to find it fast, though. We see the high trade, not high trade house, Golden Gate. He hasn't actually spent barely any tickets on this. But Mattis, he's got the upgrades coming through. Knight upgrade about to come through him. Eliona needs to find value now. There it is. Knight upgrade comes through. Ghazi Raiders versus the Knight. Here they go. Spears in here for both players as well. Archers focusing down the spears for both players here. It looks like Eliona. Sure, he's got a big mass of archers behind this, but the spears, I'm not sure there's enough here. And we see here Mattis, he only needs a few knights behind this to be able to have enough to completely clean up the archers here for Eliona. Look at the reinforcements coming through. And this is what's so strong about facing the Delhi. Poor Eliona doesn't have through the veterancy upgrades. If veterancy upgrades were through right now, that would have been a game-changing fight. But Mattis, you know, he had through his upgrades in time. And he was able to take a great fight. And now Eliona is in a little bit of a pickle. He's starting to mine up some stone. We have no keep down yet. I'd love to see a keep just being rushed down on the front line here. He needs to secure up some of this positioning. Secure up this left-hand side cook site. Maybe even stick one in the base. And try and reclaim that villager differences. Village fortresses, it's only 2.5 minutes away. It's not that long. You can hold out till then, but you really need to start to get these keeps down. As we see, the first one is going to be coming down here in a really, really good position. In between the 2 golds and the sacred site. You know, this is one of the best keeps you can possibly build in Age of Empires. Have a look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you probably can, you know, what is the best defensive landmark? I think it's got to be the Red Palace. It's got to be close between the Red Palace and the Berkshire. And the Palace, oh, not Palace of Swabia, the Elsbach Palace. But Matt is going to be moving in now. Once again, building up quite a nice crossbowman mass. I mean, Eliona needs to pull more villagers if he wants to get this one on. Does he have more on the way? He needs to pull more. He's got reinforcements coming in. He needs to try and hold this one back for the time being. 10 villagers rushing this one up. Does it get up in time, though? It looks like Eliona will be able to hold here for the time being. Mattis really needs to start to push forward these reinforcements. Really needs to push these forwards if he has any chance of denying this keep. But Eliona, he's got plenty of reinforcements coming through now. He should be able to hold this one. We've also got veterancy upgrades coming through for horsemen. So something that we've been seeing the Roost do quite a bit recently is... actually, we've been seeing the Roost do it for quite a while, but in the castle age, they look to go into tier 3... well, not tier 3. Veterancy upgraded horsemen. Which I really like. I think horsemen are kind of underrated for the Roost, just because of Boyard's Fortitude. This upgrade is the reason why Roost horsemen actually works so well, because it's not percentage based, it's point based. So it increases the health of all Roost cavalry by 30. So, you know, if you're a knight on 230 HP, you get an extra 30 HP, you're up to 260. But if it's a horseman, now, I'll be honest, I don't know how much health a horseman has exactly, a veterancy horseman. I believe it's like 160, I want to say. I probably should know this. But basically, the 30 health means a lot more to a horseman than it does a knight. Which is why horseman actually makes a lot of sense here for the Roost. I think we had a horseman pop out. We got one in the queue. We have to wait and see. It does it actually say here? No, it doesn't say. I wish it would say here in the little tooltip, but we can wait just a couple more seconds here. 155. There we go. So it's close. I was 5 points away. I'd say that's pretty good. But basically, you know, the 30 health is going to make a lot more of a difference on a horseman than it does a knight when it comes to cost comparisons. So Mattis is going to be looking towards this upgrade very, very shortly. You know, it's a cheap upgrade. 250 gold and 100 food for something that gives an extra 30 HP to every single cavalry in the game. Pretty huge, pretty huge. So definitely an upgrade he's going to be wanting to grab. Aliona, he's up to a decent mass. We see those village fortresses has come through. He's going to be starting to make some villages here in the first keep. Second keep yet to make an appearance, it seems. Needs to probably put it up to the north here. But Matt is throwing away some units. Here's some high-value knights, unfortunately for him. It looks like Mattis just wants to try and repair this one. Keep it alive. Huge mass of crossbowmen. Fortunately for him, no sort of horseman switch from Aliona, so he should be able to hold this one pretty easily. Now, actually, I say horseman switch. They no longer have access to the horseman, so it's the Ghazi Raider switch, I guess you could call it. What do you guys... Oh, God. My voice. Jesus. What do you guys think about the Delhi bringing back the horsemen? So they have access to both the Ghazi Raider and the horsemen, like they have done the Keshik. Because the Mongols still have access to the Keshik and the horsemen. And this sacred site is in the way. There we go. That's better. That's better. So we see here, Mattis is actually able to win this fight. Just the sheer number of crossbowmen. No sort of Boyar's Fortitude in yet for him. And it looks like that sacred site will be decapped right here. Now, this has been changed in-game. So when you're actually playing the game, you don't have this massive sacred site thing. So I might actually take a little screenshot of that, so I can quickly report that one to the devs, because it's a little bit annoying, right? That hindered our viewing experience here. So let me take a little screenshot. Why is this still here? There we go. Okay. Right. That one's reported. So, back to the game though. Aliona going to be dropping another keep here. Not on this northern side. I guess there's not a lot of pressure being put on this northern side by Mattis. So wants to just try and secure up this position, right? You want to try capture this third sacred site. So we see here, we got Veterancy Ghazi Raiders in, as well as the Horsemen, which is still yet to grab that Boyar's Fortitude. But finally, it's going to be coming in. Matt is looking in a really good spot, though. Look at the massive crossbowman he has right here. Aliona going to be trying to get up this keep here. But has he got enough of a mass? I'm not sure he does. We got crossbowman versus crossbowman here with a few horsemen mixed in there for Mattis, as it looks like he will be winning the war when it comes to a horseman. So, yeah, he's going to be taking a nice fight here, but Aliona, if he can get this keep up in time, he should be alright, but no, it gets taken out. Mattis focusing down the vills. Look at the villager advantage Mattis has right now. That 2TC really starting to pay off, and he's made the farm transition, or making the farm transition right now, which is something Aliona has, you know, he's doing as well. So, you know, both of them sort of level when it comes to that aspect. But Aliona going for another keep in the base here. But Mattis, you know, he's one step ahead of the game here. That keep gets cancelled once again. Aliona needed this keep up before. He's going to be trying for a third time here, over here. Army going to be blocking that one out for the time being. Mattis, look at the rally. Look at the rally point he's got right now. So many units coming through. He's got through the important upgrades. We see that Boyar's Fortitude giving that extra plus 30 HP. Coming in super, super clutch there. High Trade House, not High Trade House, the Golden Gate being used perfectly here by Mattis. He was stacking up a lot of gold, just used it to buy a load of food. And with that, he's just pumping out the horsemen. Is this the revival of the Golden Gate? I think it might be, because with that Kremlin nerf, I think it brings back the Golden Gate a lot more. Because it shuts down that Kremlin play that we're so used to seeing, with that militia being pulled right at the beginning of the game to try and get that idle time in. But Mattis now, he's going through into the base. So much idle time here. 13 idles in for Aliona. And Mattis, it looks like he's just going to be cleaning this one up, and then he'll be through to the eco. Aliona looking in such a rough position. He's down to 13 military units. Mattis still sitting at a steady 64 with the economy from the High Trade House. 2 relics in the bank, as well as the Golden Gate coming in clutch there as well, sorting out the macro it's going to be enough for Eliona to call GG. If you did enjoy this casted game, please do feel free to leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.